What if I tell you that your goals are making you miserable? Not because you are failing, but because you are chasing them wrong. See, we all believe that happiness is something we earn after success. You have probably heard that line, that suffer now and celebrate later. But here's the truth, that later never comes. After years of burnout, I realized that happiness is not an equation that you can only get after solving it. It is a constant part of our life, and it comes from suffering, not from success. Hey everyone, myself Dhoni, and today I will be sharing two lessons from two life changing books. Books that completely rewired how I see self worth and, most importantly, what happiness really is. Let's break down the first lesson from a book called Atomic Habits, written by James Clear. Think about it like this: when you set a goal to get fit and build a great physique, you tell yourself that once I achieved or once I get that dream body, then I will be happy or can finally enjoy life. Here is a super relatable example. How many of us don't post their current pictures on social media or change their profile pictures just because we think that I will update it when I finally look better or when I finally transform my body? This mindset is dangerous for our mental health. Why? Because it makes you feel like that you are serving a punishment until you achieve that right to be happy. You are basically telling yourself that no joy allowed until you achieve the goal. But here is the beautiful alternative. Instead of saying that I will be happy when I'm fit, you say I love how energized I feel when I finish my workout. Instead of I will post that pictures when I am shredded, you post them now. This small mindset shift change everything. You are no longer waiting for some future permission slip to feel good. The happiness is not postponed. You are collecting it every single day in these little moments. The feeling of accomplishment when you finish your workout, the pride when you choose a healthy meal, the joy of seeing your strength improve week by week. This is what James Clear means by saying falling in love with the process. You stop seeing yourself as someone who is failing to become better and start seeing yourself as someone who is already growing. That's how you stop being slave of your goals, not by quitting, but by stealing back your joy along the way. That's what I learned from Atomic Habit. And now let's move to our next lesson, which comes from a book called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, written by Mark Manson. For me, it flipped everything upside down. I would recommend everyone to read this book once, especially if you are new in self-improvement journey and wants to start reading books. This could be your very first book even before Atomic Habits. What if happiness is not about achieving anything at all? And what if it's actually about the problem we choose to solve? This line from that book changed my whole mindset about problems and our happiness. Happiness comes from solving problems, and problems are constant in our life. Think about it like this: when you solve your health problem by buying a gym membership, you create a new problem, like having to get up early to get to the gym on time. Problems never stop, they just get exchanged or upgraded. If you are avoiding problems, or you feel like you don't have any problem, you are going to make yourself miserable and more unhappy. If you feel like you have a problem that you can't solve, you are likewise going to make yourself miserable. It says the secret sauce is in having problem, not in not having problem in the first place. Okay, that was two lessons about happiness. I hope this will help you change your mindset about joy, happiness, and towards your goal. But before ending this video, I want to share this paragraph from the book The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck, and it feels so relatable to me, and maybe it will feel exactly the same for you too. The common cultural narrative would tell me that I somehow failed myself, that I'm a quitter or a loser, that I just didn't have it, that I gave up on my dream, and that maybe I let myself succumb to the pressure of society. But the truth is far less interesting than any of these explanations. The truth is, I thought I wanted something, but it turns out I didn't. End of the story. I wanted the reward, not the struggle. I wanted the result, not the process. I was in love with not the fight but only the victory, and life doesn't work that way. When I first read that line, it hits like a slap in my face. Because even when I tried to fall in love with that process, it felt like a punishment. The fact that I could not fully indulge myself in that process made me even more miserable, more unhappy, even when I was working toward that goal. And it drained me every step of the way, not because I was not trying hard enough, but because I was climbing the wrong mountain. And that made me realize something. Maybe I am not failing. Maybe I just picked the wrong pain to fall in love with. And maybe, just maybe, I finally start to choose better. Because if the process makes you miserable, no achievement will ever feel enough. Your dream should not just excite you in the result, it should also invite you in the suffering. The kind of suffering which makes you feel alive, not empty. So before choosing your next big dream, ask yourself, is this the mountain I am truly willing to climb, or do I just want to admire the summit from afar?